I sure hope not. Welcome to Pod Heaven, everybody. Episode 16.
You know what time it is? Thing people say. There it is. The shooting him with a gun. On the beat of the music. Yo.
What's crack-a-lackin'?
How we doing?
What is crack-a-lackin', mother truckers? Remember when Dan Brown said that?
Dan Brown?
Yeah, dude.
Is he the guy, the Rubik's Cube dude?
The Rubik's Cube dude, bro. Hello, world!
That's right.
That's what he used to always say.
Was that the pigeon dude? His pigeons are
pigeons. Pigeons are just pigeons. Yeah. When he had everybody cut up his VidCon vlog, he went to VidCon. I just want to make sure my phone's on silent. Went to VidCon, vlogged the whole thing, and then sent the footage out to all of his fans and had him chop it up and make a song.
Yeah.
Or something out of it.
Wait, yeah. That was funny. And it's not the Dan Brown that wrote Da Vinci Code?
No, different Dan Brown.
Different Dan Brown.
Common confusion.
Yeah. He had to clarify that at the beginning of all his videos. Not all of them, just a few of them at the beginning.
Dude, Dan Brown was like a YouTube pioneer, bro.
He was. He was back before you could even make a living on YouTube.
That was before they even had YouTube partnerships, right?
Yeah.
That's when he started. Or maybe they had him already, but they...
And people just use YouTube to figure out how to solve Rubik's Cubes and set up TVs.
That's how he got famous. His first video is how to solve the Rubik's Cube.
Yep.
That's how we found him. Trying to figure out how to solve that damn thing.
Michael was the one that mastered it.
Yeah.
What did he solve it in like less than a minute?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got it in I think he got it in something stupid like 20
seconds? That's right. I think his all-time best was like 23
to 25, maybe 27.
Which is ridiculous.
Mine was 45.
That's right. I figured out how to solve one side.
Oh, you never actually even learned how to solve the whole thing?
No.
Oh.
I had Michael help me. Like I would because you would solve the top, and then you would solve the two levels going down.
Yeah, the middle row circling around.
Yeah. And then at that point, that's when you had to memorize all the really hard algorithms that were like 10 moves long.
Yeah.
And if you got parity, then you had to,
Well, parity there's two methods of solving it. One's the standard method and one is the... Damn, I wish we had Eric here. I don't remember what it's called, but there's two methods of solving it. One will allow you to do it faster.
Right.
But
you do the parity.
Yeah, there are some variables that could potentially, make it wind up taking longer.
Yeah, just like one cube just rotated clockwise or counterclockwise once. And it was just like, how does that work?
Yeah.
And you had to have just a ridiculous solve at the end of it, memorized. So
that thing is just like it's a really wild concept. It's a really good idea for a puzzle. And then they got the ones that are like 4x4x4 and 6x6x6. And
yeah, those ones are ridiculous. And then Michael recently just got one.
He got another one.
Yeah, somebody bought it for him.
Oh.
But instead of all of them being cubes, they're like, some of them they're all odd shapes. So some of them are triangles, some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller. And like the middle of the cube is right. So you got your cube like this, but the middle of the cube's over here. So you got a bunch of little cubes up here and big pieces down here, right?
Oh. So it's not necessarily harder. It's just...
No, it's way harder.
Why would it be harder?
Because there's some parts where you would turn it and get it, and you can't turn the way that you want it to turn. So you have to get things into more, so there's more moves possible.
Oh no.
And it just made my brain hurt looking at it. Like he's trying to explain it to me. Like, no, this is the center of the cube. I'm like, no, that's not the center of the cube. This is the center of the cube. You can't trick me. No, Devin, this is the center of the cube. Watch. And he turns it like,
oh
nope.
My God, that's crazy.
I'm like, I don't get this. And then he finally said, no, look, see, watch. And he showed me. And I was like,
has he figured it out yet?
I don't think so.
Oh my God, dude.
I don't think so. But yeah, so dude, it's crazy. But so dude, you all moved?
Yeah, I'm all moved in.
Nice.
It was more moving was more like playing Tetris than playing Rubik's Cube. But
yeah.
I was going to try to use that as my creative transition between topics. But
well, we'll keep working on that.
We'll just dive in.
Sorry, I screwed that one up.
No, it's great. It's great. We're got to move forward. I also forgot to check the time before we started. Probably been going for like 5 minutes.
No, there's a timer at the bottom of the screen there. 6 minutes, 39 seconds.
Oh.
Yeah.
Look at that.
There's a little timer for you.
That's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm all moved in. So I moved to Tigard.
Right.
I'm single now.
Ladies.
So that's not fun right now, but hopefully it'll be fun later.
Later.
Yeah. And just time to really put my head down and focus and get some of this shit taken care of, you know.
Yeah.
Get some debt paid off. You know, I've got some things that I really need to do on my own.
Yeah.
Right now. And I've got a lot of ways that I need to grow. And I've just got a really busy 6 months coming up here. I'm at a tipping point right now with my career. And something's going to happen pretty soon it's gonna click.
Good, dude. That's awesome. That's a very mature way of looking at it, too. Like, I'm going to be doing a lot. I'm going to be changing a lot. And things are going to be, the things that you need to change.
Yeah.
And that's good, man.
Yeah. So I got this place. It's with Maverick's neighbor. Maverick is the bassist in my band, Atomic Age Renegades. And
your band, your bassist in your band.
Yeah, dude. It's my band. No, it's our band, man. It's Maverick's band, really, dude. He came up with the whole concept, and he's been dedicated, to this project for a long time. But my new place is I'm living with Maverick's downstairs neighbor.
Yeah.
So he lives in an apartment on the second floor, and then right below him lives this guy who's my roommate. And he's an IT guy. He works on computers.
Oh, nice.
And he told me that he's got some parts laying around. And if I bought a case, he's got a motherboard that we could use the parts from the computer I have now. And it would be like a $400 investment to buy a good case and to have him and to get a video card and a sound card. Because right now it's all processing through the motherboard, and on these little half-ass units, it's like a smaller version of a normal sized desktop computer. Yeah. It's a really small case. You can't fit a lot in there. So the video card and the sound card is directly on the motherboard, and it's, a lot of the power is sacrificed to make it fit in that small space. And so getting a video card, I've got a lot of RAM and I've got a lot of hard drive space. Nice. I've got a decent processor.
Okay.
So he said, you don't need to buy a new computer. You don't need to build a whole new computer. He said, you've got some good parts, and we can make something that you can edit your podcast on.
Nice. That's good, man.
Yeah. And I got a pair of headphones. I stole a pair of headphones from the studio because before I was living in a house in the basement, and I could mix and master and stuff down there and play music loud and do whatever. But now I'm in an apartment, and it doesn't work like that. So it's nice to have Maverick as my upstairs neighbor, because I'm not going to bother him, because he has the same struggle as a musician trying to find a place to jam.
Right. And
then our neighbor to the other side is this 18-year-old kid.
Oh, he doesn't care.
Yeah, he's always got his headphones on. He's playing games and stuff. And so I can use my monitors in there, but I'm 15 minutes from the studio. So,
dude,
everything I've been doing is pretty much just go down there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy when Eric was talking to me about building a computer so that I could play, video games with them online. We were going through a lot of the same things. Like we wanted to maybe get a case that could fit in with our systems right there. So we could, Xbox.
Oh yeah.
And then put that down there. But, nobody makes motherboards and video cards and stuff for those unless you want to spend like $1,000 per part to fit in those tiny cases.
Yeah.
So it's really expensive, really fast. So you're limited because the case is small.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you have to spend like twice as much for something that's not very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I've always just been so like, there's so many options on what you can do when you're building a computer.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me is like so overwhelming. Like if I'm going to build a scooter, cause I used to ride scooters.
Right.
I need the handlebars. I need the deck. I need a clamp, that clamps the bars to the deck.
Yeah.
I need the wheels and the bearings. And I can see all the parts there and I know what each one's for. And there's a couple different options on what you can get. There's tons of different brands of scooter parts, but it's fairly simple. But with a computer, it's like, well, if you ask a guy who builds computers, you go, hey, I'm thinking about building a computer. What should I do? He'll have 15 questions for you. Yep. And then he'll lay out 100 different ways you could build your computer.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, never mind. I'm just going to buy a laptop.
It's funny. Eric was we're going through Newegg and everything, looking at all the parts and everything. And he's showing me all the different parts and explaining all the differences and the nuances of this one and the benefits of this one instead of this one and why I should maybe go this way. I'm like, whoa, wait. You do it.
Yeah.
I don't care. Just make it so it does what I want it to do.
Yeah.
And don't spend, $5,000 on it.
Yeah.
That's all, and then just go for it, and basically what ended up happening,
That's kind of how it goes in the studio a lot too, is artists, they tell me they want something for their song and then I ramble for 15 minutes and then they go, you still haven't answered my question.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, well, whatever.
Well, dude.
But yeah, my new roommate, I asked him, he used to be in the Navy.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And I asked him, do you have any guns, bro? And he goes, he was like, what? And I was like, do you have any guns? And he was like, well, when I was in the Navy, we were not allowed to call them guns. And he goes, I call them weapons.
Yeah.
Because a weapon is only used for one thing. It's only meant to do one thing. It's to kill human beings. And I'm like, oh, okay.
It's debatable.
I guess I asked the wrong guy about guns.
Yeah.
Somebody, a lot of people from the military don't really have a fascination with guns like somebody who has been hunting for a long time would. Because when they see a gun, they don't see something that you can shoot a clay pigeon with or blow up a milk jug with or a watermelon.
Yeah. I see one thing. I find that it's about 50-50. Like some of them come out and they're just like gun enthusiasts and they've got all their friends and they're gun enthusiasts and they hunt every, they've got all of the, the gear and everything and they got their dogs and they've got their whole community. They hunt and breathe hunting, after they get out of the military. And then there's the other guys that are like, you know what? I don't want to see another gun in my entire life.
Yeah.
I'm good. I did my time. I'm done. I'm gonna just work now, focus on things. So
he told me, he was like, I don't have a gun. He said, I don't have a weapon. I don't have any weapons.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that you say that because I was out. That's what I did yesterday. So Saturday over the weekend, Michael invited me to come out with some people that he knows. to shoot a bunch of weapons. We ended up going, and apparently he didn't show me that, but apparently there's like a wall that he unlocks and opens it up, and it's just lined with assault rifles, hunting rifles, pistols,
Yikes.
everything you can think of. And he's got
his house?
In his house, yeah. He's got a little bit of property. And but he was so that's the enthusiasts, right? So
yeah.
And he's like, but we're only gonna shoot but he was like, we're gonna go out and shoot some guns. And so he brought out, a few 9mm and a couple 40s and just let us go ham. And we had these like PVC targets set up with some paper on it with a terrorist on it. So we were shooting at that. And then we had the dueling tree. Have you seen those? So it's just a metal post that sticks out of the ground and it's got these orange and white. So it's orange on one side, white on the other, or whatever color you want it to be. That's not really important. But there's these big steel plates. And you'd shoot it, and it would go ping and flip around to the other side.
Oh yeah.
So then you can either just
I've seen one of those.
Yeah, shoot up and down it, and try to get them all on the other side, or you can have 3 on this side, 3 on this side, and have 2 people shooting them at the same time, and then you got 1 mag, and whoever has the most targets on their side at the end loses.
Yeah. So is there a timer that runs out, or do you just have to keep going until all the targets go to one side?
No, you just go until your mag runs out.
Oh.
So you got 15 shots to try to get them all on the other guy's side.
Got it.
Best case scenario is you just go ping, 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 and flip them all the other side.
Yeah.
And then you just play defense at that point.
Yeah.
I went against Michael, and sorry to say, I can't hit the broadside of a barn with a pistol.
Damn, bro. You're not a good shot?
I'm not a good shot when it comes to to shooting pistols, and they're all
shooting weapons.
Shooting weapons, yeah. Well, I'm not in the military, so I'm gonna call them pistol.
I'm gonna say gun, dude. Gun, the word gun to me is like intimidating, bro.
Yeah, it totally is. It's a gun.
I think it means the same thing as weapon.
Well, a weapon can mean a whole array of things. It can mean bow and arrow. It can mean knife. It can mean gun.
That's true.
What are we talking about here? It's very vague. So I'm gonna call it a weapon. I'm gonna call it a gun.
Yeah, I wonder what the actual definition of weapon is.
Ooh.
Like, what's the dictionary definition?
Yeah, probably easy to find out, but yeah, dude, it was crazy. So, funny thing is, though, they did have a couple of ARs.
See, I don't think that's necessary. I don't think
to have all those guns.
No, or to even have a fully automatic rifle at your house.
You can't have a fully automatic.
You can't. Oh, you can't.
No, that's military only. You can have semi-auto where you just pull the trigger.
Yeah. Okay.
But you can't hold down the trigger and, mow something down. That's illegal.
Yeah.
As a citizen.
Okay.
You have to be, I don't even know if law enforcement can have it. I'm not too familiar with the laws on that. But with the rifle, though, I was pretty darn accurate.
Nice.
We had a red dot on it, the hollow sights, where you look through it, it's got the little holographic dot.
Mm-hmm.
And, I got a pretty good grouping, like this big, Nice. So I shot him a few times in the head and I shot him in the chest, and I didn't miss any of those. Nice. So I was able to, but yeah, it was pretty cool though, because this dude was very well versed in the laws and everything that was going on. So, so he's just like talking about, he's very much like, those signs on his walls that said like, trespassers will be shot, survivors will be shot again.
Yeah.
Stuff. He was one of those guys. He was this old guy.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny, so it's a lot of fun though.
I bet. Yeah. I love shooting weapons, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I love shooting weapons.
He had a 12 or a 20 gauge. It was only a 20 gauge shotgun, but it was semi-auto.
Oh yeah, dude.
So you just like bam, 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 bam,
Dude,
bam.
I would have knocked myself over.
Yeah, my shoulder's a little sore from.
Oh yeah, dude.
Just going after it.
I remember shooting the 12 gauge, man. That thing.
Yeah, 12 gauge. Apparently, he's got like some buckshot.
What is that?
Right. So it's for shooting buck. You know, the ones that we shoot with Dad were birdshot. So you've got however many pellets in there, right? And then it just shoots those out. A buckshot are bigger rounds. I think that might be like one slug even with pellets. So you can actually shoot deer with it and take them down with a shotgun. But it kicks a lot harder. Like they were like, okay, Michael, I wasn't there for this one. They were like, okay, here's this one. Shoot it twice in a row, which is like boom, boom, right, as fast as you can. It's like almost knocked him over.
Yeah, dude. Oh, I remember the first time I shot a 12 gauge. I almost fell over.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for that. I was not ready for that.
It's crazy, man. Shooting guns, dude. Pod Heaven episode 16, biatch. The song's called Jericho.
This is sick, dude. I'm digging
This shit
this.
rocks. Check this out. The chops, dude. You gotta hear the chops. Oh yeah,
That's pretty sick, dude. I like that one.
that one was a lot of fun, man. All these rappers that come in the studio, I always try to pitch them my EDM stuff.
Yeah.
And try to get them to rap over that, because that would be there's a lot of rappers that have more like dance style beats that sound more EDM by the industry like definition. But there's not a lot of rappers rapping over EDM, and I think there needs to be more. There's a lot of rap in EDM, but I feel like there needs to be more EDM in rap, if that makes sense.
So like rap is the feature as opposed to EDM being the feature?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't use the word feature.
Yeah.
But just like, when a rapper raps over an EDM beat, it's usually it's not usually recorded to that beat. It's usually either a sample or, it's usually a sample.
Okay.
But, I think somebody could pick 12 of those EDM tracks and make a hip hop album that would, just kind of transform the hip hop industry. That was some dead air.
Whoop. There it is.
Good grief, man. Something interesting happened this week. I got a couple stories I heard from my buddies, and one of them was my buddy Ryan, who posted, let's see here, releasing a song, and DistroKid, the distribution company that distributes your song to Spotify and iTunes and all that stuff, that company is like the only word I could think of to describe what's happening with this this platform right now is it's constipated. There's so much music that people want to publish with DistroKid. There's so many people uploading songs right now because everybody's home in quarantine, and everybody's going, you know what? Maybe now is the time to record that hip hop album that I've been thinking about doing, or maybe now's the time to do those songs. And so there's a lot of music being created right now, and they're having to sort of make people wait, say, hey, we can't publish your song right now.
Yeah.
We have to get these online, and then, everybody has to go in order. And I was just listening to the Joe Budden podcast, and how back in the day when he was signed to a label, he would go in there and say, hey, I got to record this song. And go, well, you're going to have to go do it somewhere else because we got Big Sean in the studio this week. Or we got Ludacris in the studio this week. We got the big guys.
Right.
We got somebody who's going to make us more money when they drop their album.
So you have to wait.
So you have to wait.
Yeah.
And DistroKid came along and made it so artists didn't have to wait. And they didn't have to listen to their label. They didn't even have to sign to a label. They could just post their music online. And now the same thing's happening with DistroKid.
So they have a bit of a lag in between them actually getting to put it on this.
They're getting backed up.
It's not like an automated system that does it. They have to.
I guess not.
Huh.
They got to have an office somewhere.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the reason that it's going slow right now is because, everybody can't come to work. They probably
I feel like you could do that stuff from afar.
From home, maybe,
I don't know. Maybe.
But, with the coronavirus and people not being able to come to the office, it's going to create some complications. It's going to slow people down no matter what, no matter how you slice it. So that was interesting. And I heard another story from my buddy Jason, whose name is not Jason, but
these are substitutes.
Today it is. And he's been working with this producer named Marty, whose name is also not Marty. But
Marty.
They've been working together for a while. He did a single with him, and Jason put that single out, and it was great. And it's a good song. It was, pretty good start for him. But then he wrote this other song. And this song is like way more just, Jason, authentic. It's like, I heard that song and I almost cried. I was just like, you know what, dude? Like, this is you, man. This is so you. This is great, dude. Like, you really got it in. It had a catchy hook. And it's coming out soon. But problem is, Marty, the producer, got a little bit greedy when he did Jason's song. And he asks Jason if he can feature on the song.
Let's get your blood boiling.
My heart's already racing, dude. And Marty goes, wow, Jason, that's a really good song. That is really catchy. That is a nice hook. That really is going to catch people's ears. You mind if I feature on that? Let me be on your song. Let me be on your song. Jason says, sure, man. That's probably a good idea because then we can get more publicity that way. Sure, you can feature on my song. So he goes, great. So I'm going to record. And by the way, Marty's the producer. He's going to record this song and also film the music video and also publish it, And so by the time the song's done and recorded and ready to publish, Jason goes online and promotes, says, hey guys, I'm releasing a song soon. Check it out. Marty calls up Jason and says, hey bro, I noticed that you posted that you're releasing a song. Just remember, this is our song. And Jason was like, hold up, like our song?
What are you talking about?
He's like, well, so I can't imagine that these conversations were very transparent or open or honest. But
trying to get a bigger piece of the pie than he's should.
Yeah. And so by the time Marty and Jason decide they're going to release this song that Jason wrote and Marty featured on, Marty says, you know what? You're going to get more. I don't remember. I don't even know how he explained it to him. I can't understand how anybody would think that this is even remotely okay to do with somebody's song. And I can't imagine what that conversation went like, because I can't find the words in my mind that would present that as a good idea to an artist.
So Marty sang the verse in the song, correct?
He helped finish writing the song. Yeah. And he sang one of the verses in it.
But Jason wrote all the lyrics.
I think he wrote them all, yeah. And he came to the studio with the idea for the song and the hook.
Yeah.
Which is really important, the hook. Because especially for this song, because the hook is so catchy.
Yeah.
And it's really pop, you know? People are gonna love it. It's a good song. And a producer has an ear for those songs that they know are gonna catch people's ears. And so Marty decided now he's releasing it on his alias on Spotify and is the featured artist. And that's what he posted on his social media. Excuse me. I made it all the way to the end without saying his name.
No, his name is Jason. You just played it off, man.
No, I'll bleep it out. All
right.
Dude, don't let me forget. Oh, Marty's going to call me. I hope Marty figures it out.
Marty will know. Marty, you know who you are. Fuck.
You fucking moke. Yeah, dude. Anyways. So when you write a melody that was inspired by another artist and you change a couple notes and you use that same melody, you put it in a different key and play it to a different tempo, you know, that's not stealing music. What Marty did to Jason, that is stealing music. That is robbery. And that is the most like shady form of robbery, to sneak your way in there like that and feature and then boom, release it on your own alias. That's so fucked up, dude. Yeah. Go fuck yourself, Marty. Anyway.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not done with my music segment yet. What else do I want to talk about? Man, it's been a crazy week. Getting moved out of Northeast Portland and getting down to Tigard, man. But I'm glad to be closer to the studio. You know, I can edit the podcast there.
Question for you. You might have a little insight on this. So sports are coming back, right?
Okay.
NBA has played a couple of shows. They don't do shows. They played a couple of games, but with the whole COVID thing happening, and there was a fight, also an MMA fight that did the same thing, where nobody could be in the stands. So there's no crowd in this, right?
Excuse me.
And what people are doing is you can still buy a seat, and you can get a cardboard cutout of yourself and put them in the seat.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious, 100% serious. So there's these pictures and these videos of these games going on, and the whole crowd is just cardboard cutouts, and you can do whatever cardboard cutouts. So some people are doing Osama bin Laden. In these seats, and just getting real creative with it. But it's really affecting the game. Like, there was this amazing fight between, I don't know who it was, because I don't pay attention to that stuff and all the sports ball. But there was a fight, and
like an MMA fight or boxing? Or?
MMA. And it wasn't very good. Amazing fighter. You could hear the fights, like the contact of it. You know, it wasn't just like the word of the crowd. You could hear the coaches yelling cues to their fighter and everything and all this stuff. And it was brutal.
Yeah.
There's something missing. Yeah. And it's that crowd, you know, all those people behind it.
Yeah.
And the energy that they bring.
The energy, bro.
So I'm thinking that live shows are going to be similar.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Because unless something happens.
Unless something changes.
And we can like really turn this around and come out with a vaccine and we can do whatever. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff out there I don't want to get into because it honestly pisses me off just thinking about it. But
dude, I can't imagine playing to a crowd of cardboard cutouts, dude.
Yeah, and then they just pump crowd noises through the speaker.
What the fuck, dude? That'd be so boring.
Yeah, there's no movement, there's no energy, there's nothing. It's all gone. So
that probably wouldn't be so boring.
Yeah,
it'd be fun. It'd be fun to play. To know that everybody's watching you online, at least.
Yeah, it'd be just I think the performance would be a little bit different because there's a certain amount of energy and kind of adrenaline that comes from.
It's true.
People being there.
From having the crowd there.
Everybody's trying to do crowd surfing on a bunch of cardboard cutouts. Doesn't work. Just bam. But what do you think about that? What do you think is going to happen with that?
I am still just trying to hold on to the irrational thought that this is all going to be over soon. And that everything's just going to go back to normal.
Yeah.
And when I start to think about how it might not go back to normal for a long time, that's really depressing.
Yeah.
To think about.
Yeah.
And I really hope that, I get to spend some of my lifetime back in the normal world. I would hate to fucking die at 80 of the coronavirus.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have a vaccine by then that works.
I hope so.
And it's going to be, it's already going to take its course. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you already had it.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And then you're done. I feel like that's what most people are getting. But, yeah, dude, I can't imagine this. I really, really hope, because I'm already tired of wearing face masks everywhere I go and having to be, super careful about everything I touch and, constantly thinking like, wait, I don't want this item, but I can't go put it back because I already touched it, but I'm just going to put it back. Oh, shoot, that person saw me do that, and then they're probably judging me silently.
Yeah.
It's like,
I have all those same thoughts.
Yeah. Plus, it's 100 degrees outside, and I got to wear this face mask, and my breath is getting blown back in my face. I'm getting all claustrophobic. And
I think that's why my ear got infected. It's from wearing that mask, dude. Because when I breathe through it, I can feel the air going directly into my ear every single time I exhale. Okay. And I try to keep the mask closed against the side of my face over here, but there's just no way to stop it. And so, I have a cloth mask. I need to wash it. In the laundry, I think.
Yeah, I'm super tired of it though, and I'm ready for shows to be a new thing. Sports with real crowds.
I just want to go to a concert, dude.
Yeah, be able to do that again.
I would have gone to so many more concerts if I knew this was going to happen.
Right? Would have got my fill. Jeez, it's depressing, but hey, there are places in the world right now where it's kind of already made its way through everything.
Okay.
But unfortunately, the United States has done a really horrible job at, compared to the rest of the world, we did the worst.
Yeah.
We have had the most deaths. We've had the most problems. I mean,
that doesn't surprise
I'm assuming, me. Depending on who you talk to, I haven't really, but through the channels and the media that I have heard, that's the story that I'm getting. I could be wrong on that, but yeah, from what I've heard, that's been the thing. So we're just a little bit behind the curve. And I have a feeling that we're going to catch up with the rest of the world here soon. So
that doesn't surprise me that America did the shittiest job of fighting this thing.
Yeah. There's just,
because you look around in Portland and you see people just totally not giving a fuck, just like not wearing a mask, not following any of the social distancing guidelines.
You could say that maybe that's the issue. Because might get a little controversial here, but
here we go.
There's two rules of thought, right? Where we quarantine and that we don't catch the virus and spread the virus everywhere else, right? That's one rule of thought, and that's what we hoped would happen by keeping everybody inside.
Yeah.
But now the science is coming out saying that it's very, 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 very unlikely that you can transmit the virus to other people outside. The main place that it actually spreads and actually like is contagious is inside.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, okay, then what did we do? At the beginning, everybody had it. We shove everybody
all go inside.
Spread it to everybody else. Then we let everybody else out, and then just spread it like wildfire, you know? And then there's other people that were just like, okay, here's the thing. It is more dangerous to these people and these people and these people. Now you know, wear a mask, do your thing.
Yeah.
And those countries are doing a lot better than the people who just did a hardcore quarantine shutdown.
Well, when you go out, you're not going out really. You're going into a bunch of different places. You know, like if you go to the grocery store and then you go to the bank and then you go, you know, pick up your kid from school.
Right. Yeah, but then it would make its way through. Like the thing is that it's just like everybody had it. We go home, give it to everybody around us.
Yeah.
And then it's bad for all the people around us. And then we go back out into the world and we get a bunch more people and we go back inside.
Yeah.
You know? But it's not able to work its way through the system.
Yeah.
You know? Because the best way to do that is just for our bodies to build a natural defense to the virus, right?
Yeah.
But of course, there's all this other there's other science that's saying that now that you can actually get coronavirus twice or sometimes 3 times because there's so many different strains. But
wow,
there's a lot of things being said out there right now. But you know,
we're all gonna die.
This is the end of the world, guys. It's here. Apocalypse. Well, this is a very cheery podcast today, huh?
So cheerful.
So cheerful. Yay. All right. Well.
This song's called Mission Possible.
Oh, you mean like the movie?
Damn it. No, Devin, not like the movie.
Oh, possible.
Something weird happened with this one.
Really?
I don't know. It feels to me like it's just not quite the right tempo. Like it feels like it speeds up and slows down.
Oh, really?
Bit. It's weird.
I like the dueling guitar and synth there.
Yeah, dude.
That was cool.
that was really what because I heard something like that in a song.
Yeah.
Then I went home that day like with that in my head, like I'm gonna make a song with
dueling. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like you record the guitar all the way through, and then you record the synth all the way through, and then you just look where the kick and the snare is on the drums, and you just make cuts on different parts, on different hits of percussion, so that it sounds like the drums is like changing yeah. It's all like one. That's a good tip for EDM producers.
That's cool. I like that.
So yeah, dude. We just did some bench press.
Yeah, we did. Felt good.
Yeah, I needed that, man.
Yeah. Felt weird. All the guns bruising my shoulder. It's interesting to do a bench press with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I like that.
You're already kind of sore on that side. You end up lifting the bar up like this.
Yeah, it's like so I won't do nothing.
You know what's a real bummer when you're bench pressing is for the bar to hit something beside you, or
it's scary.
And you just whoa, like
you seen those guys where they're not lifting with collars but they're just doing like a warm up set, so it's nothing super heavy. But some dude will just walk up to some random dude in the gym and just pull the 45 off one end while he's bitching.
Oh my God, dude. That's a terrible prank to pull on somebody.
Yeah, it's not.
Because then all the other ones slide off the other side.
Yeah.
And then you flop over to the other side.
Yep.
And then you've probably like pulled your oblique.
Yeah.
By that point.
You're not going to be you're going to be sore, just not where you want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bad deal.
So what are good stretches for people who sit in a fucking chair all day?
Is this a listener question?
No, it's my question.
Oh, okay. So, sitting.
I don't know why the F word had to be in there.
Well, I mean, it's always good to throw a little F-bomb in there.
You gotta sprinkle them in, dude.
You know,
sometimes sit in a chair all day just doesn't have the same weight, man, as sitting in a fucking chair all day.
People, listen to this at work. They're tuning out at this point.
You gotta get their attention somehow.
But no, that's a good question. And I have been thinking about this a lot lately because everybody knows that sitting isn't good for you.
Yeah.
And if you really rack up how much time we actually spend in a chair, especially if you have a desk job or a job where you're sitting down and looking at a computer all day, editing. Yeah, I guess editing would be a desk job too.
Yeah. It's a desk job.
But even for me, like right now, I'm doing all my work stuff, and then I jump in my car and I go do Uber. So I'm sitting a lot. So it doesn't have to be at a desk. It could be in a car. It could be on your. Because think about this: you wake up in the morning, you sit down, you check your email, you go, you make your breakfast, you sit down, you eat your breakfast, and then you get in your car and you sit down, and you drive to your job, and then you get into your job, and then you sit down.
Yeah.
And then you sit at a desk for 8 hours. And then you get back in your car, you sit down again.
Yeah.
And you drive home. Then you come home and you sit on your couch and you watch TV. So basically, for all day, all of your waking time, you're maybe spending 3 hours walking around. Maybe, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
So, and we just sit all of the freaking time. And I'm having people come to me who have nerve pain all up and down their legs because they sit a lot.
Well, my roommate, Eric, Jesus, there's another name.
Well, anyways.
He's got mega back pain. He says it's from sitting down all day. And he just got an inversion table.
Oh, okay.
You ever seen one of those?
Yep.
I told him he should come talk to you.
Yeah.
So what causes that? So you're sitting down all day and then you start having back pain. Why?
Yeah, so you're sitting down all the time. So it comes from two things, right? So the first thing is when you have your knees close to your chest, all the muscles that bring your knees to your chest get tight because they're at a shortened position. Your brain sees that, and then it just makes it easier to get into that position, right? So it shortens it.
So it settles into that tightened position, kind of.
So then you sit up. And now all of a sudden it encourages like this Instagram butt look.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about with the pelvis tip forward, the butt sticking out, and
and they're like you're like folded in right here.
Yeah, exactly. All the tissues right here get tight, and then it just tilts your pelvis forward. So now all of a sudden instead of your lumbar spine, so your very low spine just going straight up out of your pelvis. It has to go it comes out at an angle, and then you get this huge curve, right? And when you have that big curve, it turns off your core, right? And your core is your main stabilizer of your lumbar spine. Then you're sitting, and on top of that, you're sitting on your glutes all the time. So when you're getting a massage and somebody pushes down on a muscle, and it's super tight, and all of a sudden, it relaxes.
Yeah,
because that pressure is all on that muscle, and your central nervous system, your brain, right, says, okay, relax that muscle. So that's what's happening when you're sitting on your glutes all day. It's sending that same signal. Turn those off. Turn those off. Turn them off. Don't use them. So you stand up, your hip flexors are super tight, your core is completely disengaged, your stabilizers, big stabilizers of your hips are turned off, your glutes, right? And now you have just your little tiny muscles in your spine supporting all of your upper body and all in anything that you're holding, right? There's these little tiny muscles, but you should be using your core to stabilize your lumbar spine.
Oh my God. Yeah, that makes total sense.
So now you get that's what causes a lot of pain. Then it gets worse. On top of that, we don't sit up, we don't sit up like this.
No.
Our posture in a good posture and everything. No, we're like this.
Yeah.
Chest collapse down, hands out forward. So chest is getting tight, shoulders are getting tight, lats are getting tight. Everything is just getting tight and pulling us forward, right? And then what is your dad telling you from a very young age, kid? Sit up straight. Sit up straight, Johnny. Little Johnny, you got to sit up straight. Sit up straight. So you stand up, and now all of a sudden your thoracic spine, so your mid-back is all locked down in this position. So you can't extend through that. So now you extend even further through your lumbar spine, and you just kind of get that. Now all your weight's kind of forward, and it's just a recipe for disaster, right?
Yeah, I've noticed I do that in my car when I'm sitting in my car seat. I keep my back raised off of the seat, like without even thinking about it, because I'm trying to sit up straight.
Yeah,
and so all throughout the day, I'm relaxing my back like that, and I'm coming back down in the chair. But it's only like a matter of a half hour before I'm back up here again.
Yeah, right. Because you're trying to sit up straight, but you can't extend through your mid back, so you extend through your lower back.
Yeah,
even when you're sitting, and then it's only I can't say that word. It's only exaggerated. There we go. When you're standing up, right? So that's where all this lumbar spine pain comes from, right? So some good stretches for people who sit a lot is you need to stretch two parts of your body. You can't just stretch the hips, and you can't just stretch the thoracic spine. You got to do both, right? And this is really kind of a difficult thing to describe, but so what you're going to want to do is I'm basically going to give you some homework, because if you can actually see it, it's going to be super, super important. And then I'm going to throw a little bit of my own twist on it, because there's a lot of things on the internet right now that they don't address, right? So basically what you're going to want to look up is a hip flexor stretch and thoracic mid-back extension, right? That's what you're trying to look for.
Thoracic mid-back extension.
So thoracic extension or mid-back extension, one of those two. And then you want to get hip flexor stretches, right? So that's what you're looking for, right?
I've been having this problem in my upper back too, and my shoulders from looking at the screen and focusing like that. Yeah, and like even just doing it now, I can feel this crazy amount of tension in the back of my neck. So every time I go outside, when I'm taking breaks at work, I'm just like, oh man, my neck is killing me, man.
Yeah. So
and then I grind my teeth when I sleep.
Oh, really?
And my head now is all tight, and I'm just like all the time.
So basically, what you're trying to do. So here's my spin on it, right? So you got your hip flexor stretches, and you got your thoracic extension. There's a lot of other things that you can go into, but that's a good place to start.
Pretty much it.
What would you say?
That's pretty much it.
Oh, so basically what you're trying to do is a lot of people go into their thoracic extension. So that's bringing your chest up.
Yeah.
And they think that's thoracic extension, but literally what they're doing is they're just extending through more of their lumbar, right? So as you're doing your hip flexor stretches and your thoracic extensions, you need to make sure that your low back is flat, right? So a good way to figure out what your lumbar spine feels like when it's flat is lay on your back and then just push your low back to the ground.
Oh yeah.
That's a flat That's how your back, that's how that feels, right?
That's how your back should be all the time.
No, you're going to have a little bit of a curve.
Okay.
But if you're doing like a deadlift or something, yes, you want to have much more flat back, but that's beside the point. It depends.
Yeah, because when you engage your core, your back flattens out.
Yep. So
stacks everything up vertically.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, when you're doing your stretches, you want to make sure that your back is flat because your body will move around the places of restriction by extending through the lumbar spine. And that's not what you want. That's where you're going to get hurt again. So that's the caveat you want to make sure that you get. But yeah, that would help. That'll cure your sitting position, right? So hip flexor stretches, thoracic stretches.
Well, I remember working in advance too. My hips would get really tight just from the tool bag and walking upstairs and just driving around in the van all day.
Yep. Right.
Driving from job to job. It wasn't as much wear from sitting as it was from just the manual labor of the job, but it was intense, man. And you got it. And that's what I was telling my roommate when he was telling me about his back problems. I was like, dude, you got to talk to my brother or you got to listen to our podcast because I guarantee if you listen to 3 episodes of that podcast, you're going to hear Devin explain like the most common like back pain that people have and where it comes from. And, the most common, problems that people have with their health and their fitness it seems to be the topics that you're targeting, which is smart.
Yeah.
And that's why I told him, I was like, dude, you just listen to the pod, dude.
Yeah. It's funny that pain, I've talked about pain before in the past, but everyone wants to fix it with a pill.
Yeah.
Or they want to diagnose it with some illness, and then, start taking medication to fix that. But that's only a Band-Aid. It doesn't fix, like the lumbar spine. Everybody says, oh, I get a bulging disc.
Yeah.
I got sciatica in my thing because a bulging disc is pressing up against it. No, you might have piriformis syndrome, which is basically gives you the same exact symptoms as a bulging disc, but instead of a disc pushing up against a nerve, it's a muscle in your butt that gets tight from, hey, you guessed it, sitting all the time, that presses up against the sciatic nerve and does the exact same thing, So people are going to start saying, oh, you need to get surgery on your disc, you need to do all this stuff, you need to get braces, you need to do all these other things. But it's like, no, stretch your piriformis, stretch your hamstrings, strengthen your hamstrings. I'm so glad I almost forgot the most important part about this thing. So stretching is only half the battle, actually, when it comes to sitting.
Okay. What's the other half?
You need to strengthen yourself. Once you've opened up your thoracic spine, you've gotten more thoracic extension and you've got more hip extension. So stretching your hip flexors and you have to now strengthen those muscles in those positions.
Yeah.
So you'll see lasting change. That's the thing about, chiropractors is they'll push you into place and then send you home.
Yeah.
And they don't give you, and then you're going to be right back to where you started.
Come back for that treatment again.
Yeah, because all the muscles that pulled you into that position to start with are still tight.
Yeah.
All the muscles that are supposed to help you get out of those positions and hold you in better positions, they're all still weak.
Is that going to do more damage? Like for example, like my buddy Mike.
Yeah.
He works at a chiropractor and I'm rolling my eyes because I said the name. I'm not rolling my eyes at Mike. Figured I better point that out.
That's good.
But yeah, he works he's a receptionist at a chiropractic office.
Right.
And he gave me this adjustment one time on my neck.
Yeah.
Where I relaxed my head this way and then he cracked my neck and then I relaxed my head this way and he cracked it that way. And I was like, damn, yo.
Yeah.
I felt really good. But then, all that tightness came back and I noticed it even more after that.
Right. Like, and it could, and your question is, can that make it worse?
Yeah.
No, yes and no. The way that it could make it worse is that you get frustrated with your chiropractor because, like, look, my pain goes away, but it comes right back, and then you just get fed up and you're like, whatever, I'll just live with this. I can just deal with it.
Yeah.
And that's when the problem can be, when it's just all you have to do is go to your chiropractor and then go to your personal trainer after that. Right?
Yeah.
So you have to kind of, marry the two of, resistance training with chiropractic adjustments, right? So, because that's super, super important. Like, because say we've got tight lats and we've got tight pecs, pulling us into this position, and we got a weak upper back. So, weak rhomboids and trapezius, mid trapezius, right? So to pull our shoulders back, right? Those are weak. So what we need to do now is stretch our pecs, stretch our lats, and then strengthen our mid back. So the traps and the rhomboids, right? To pull those shoulders back and down and hold them there. Because if we don't do that, the reason that the muscles are tight is because there's things that we're doing throughout the day that are making them tight.
Yeah.
And if you don't address that, so sitting all the time, and then you don't strengthen the muscles, you just go right back.
Yeah.
Right back to where you were. So it's super, super, super important to do both of those. Stretch and then strengthen.
Stretch and strengthen.
Stretch and strengthen. Yeah.
Stretch, strengthen. Strengthen, stretch? No. Stretch, strengthen.
Yeah. There's funny people get just heated about that. It's like, should you foam roll before you... Sorry, anyways, that's some good stuff.
Yeah. Should you stretch before your workout or should you stretch after?
Depends. Yeah. I would say if you're doing corrective exercise and your whole your goal is to fix your posture.
Yeah.
Prime and stretch before. So stretch the muscles that are tight, prime the muscles that are weak, go into your workout. But if you're trying to do explosive, sprinting, jumping, all these things, if you're going to do all of these like deactivation and you're going to do all of these like stretches and foam rolling before that, then that's not going to help you. Right. So there you go. Well, episode 16, everybody. So here's what you got to do, guys. We are on all the platforms. YouTube,
all the platforms.
All of them. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, all the good stuff. So if you want to find us on Instagram and Facebook, it's Pod Heaven Austin Devin.
Nice.
You can also find us on Twitter at Pod Heaven AD. Also on YouTube is the Pod Heaven Austin Devin.
Nice.
So yeah, there we go. YouTube is going to have a lot of like exclusive content. So we got to make sure that we go subscribe, hit that bell on YouTube, and
to get the notifications.
To get all those notifications so that you know when that exclusive content comes out. So thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. And we'll see you next week.